outputs, what we're making, lots and lots of different things. Oh, we nearly just saw an accident. Oh, you know what that would have been like? If the police needed evidence, we'd have had the money. And we could have sold it to the Sun for like 20 grand. Anyway, I feel like the podcast has been interrupted by a burglar alarm and someone nearly getting run over pretty, like 2 minutes into it. This is exciting. Welcome to the Real Spiel podcast. We're in windy Wetherby today and we thought we'd show you this lovely market town while talking about video. So let's walk and talk, Steve. Steve's on camera today. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about video and we're going to talk about the top 8 questions that I assume people, you, have about video that get asked to Google. So what does Google get searched most about how a video is made and how things happen? It's quite busy today actually in Wetherby, isn't it? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run through all 8. We'll be quite quick and Steve's going to go explore the market town of Wetherby, where like most places, things are closing. So the first thing is, how much does a video cost? Of course, it's the first question. It's the most asked question that Google gets about video production. How much does it cost? So to make a video, it really varies. There's no one size fits all. It depends what you're after as well. Are you after a quick bit of content creation? Are you after a TV ad? Are you after full-scale production, smaller scale productions? It's all really very much based on what are you making, what's the production quality, what's the standards, how many deliverables. Oh, there's an alarm. You know, last time we filmed a podcast, there was a fire alarm as well. Maybe we'll go explore. Or maybe it's just a burglar alarm. Maybe we're going to come up on a crime in Wetherby. This would be fantastic. Anyway, sorry, how much does a video cost? Yeah, very much depends on crew size, production, outputs, what we're making, lots and lots of different things. Oh, we nearly just saw an accident. Oh, you know what that would have been like? If the police needed evidence, we'd have had the money. And we could have sold it to the Sun for like 20 grand. Anyway, I feel like the podcast has been interrupted by a burglar alarm and someone nearly getting run over pretty, like 2 minutes into it. This is exciting. Right, we'll go down here and not get run over ourselves. We'll let this white BMW go. I'm not answering the question, am I? Right, how much does a video cost? Let's start again because it feels like a lot's gone on. How much does a video cost? Very much depends on crew size, deliverables, production standards, output. But ultimately, it depends who you're working with. Are you working with a freelancer? Are you working with a small production company? Are you working with a massive production house? Are you working with a studio? Who are you working with? Videos typically, if you're working with a freelancer, could be anything from hundreds to thousands. Small production companies can be thousands to tens of thousands, even into hundreds of thousands if the brief's that big. And bigger production houses, you're talking probably 10 grand minimum, to be honest. So it really depends on what you want to achieve, what you want to do, and what you do. So it doesn't... Basically what I'm trying to say, if you're asking how much does a video cost, almost choose where you want to be and then the budget can be fit to that. And your production companies though should give you a good outline of different ballpark pricing for different ways of doing it. We often give like 3 options and those 3 options give you an idea of, well, you can get this for this, this for that for that. And then you can look at it and go, well, I think that one's right for us. And that's normally a good way to do it. Watch you don't get run over. Chaos today. Right, what does the production process involve? Oh, this is a nice little pub. I went here a few times. They do good beer, and I once got a fish sandwich, which I don't normally get, but they're very nice. I'd highly recommend it on our tour of Wetherby. Let's go. Yeah, we'll go down here. So, what does the production process involve? Well, the production process, most times, whether it's animation or a video, it involves very similar things. So, first up, you've got creative. The creative process is about creative development, ideation. What are we making? What are we doing? How's this going to look? What's the look and feel going to be? Pre-production can be everything from crewing, call sheets, risk assessments. You can get into storyboarding, although storyboarding is kind of in creative as well, but you run storyboarding sometimes alongside it because everything needs organising, whether locations need sourcing, talent, all sorts of different things. Then you go into production, which is filming, and then you go into post-production, which is editing. The only difference is animation, where you've also got design and you've got build. So design comes in almost creative and build comes in production. So very much, sorry, you can go through. So very much it depends on what process you're doing, but really you've got creative, pre-production, production, post-production. But your production company should guide you through that, look after it every step of the way. It's market day. I didn't realise it's Wetherby Market Day. I didn't even know Wetherby had a market. We've only had an office here for about 5 years. That's bad, isn't it? How large does your crew need to be? That's question 3 that Google normally gets. How big are, how many people are going to come to site? How many people are going to come onto location and make this stuff? Well, again, depends. So we do crews everything from 1 to 2 people all the way to, I think our biggest crew last year was about 25 people, I think it was last year. So, but then you can get crews that are hundreds of people as well. So it really depends. But ultimately, again, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Your production company should advise how big your crew needs to be to get the job done. You shouldn't have needless people there for needless people's sake. On the other side of it, you don't want too little people there that you can't fulfill the brief and do a proper job. So depends on what it is, but ultimately your crew should be dictated by the brief and your production company should advise you on that. What do you think to Wetherby Market?
Not very big, is it? It's just...
Looks like a nice coffee stall.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Everything else? Everything else looks a bit pants. People are around me. Shouldn't have said that to the faithful. Right, how much input do we need? I guess that question means how much input as a client do you need to give? As I see it, and every production company works differently, but it can vary. So for me, you can be as involved as you want to be. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be really honest. There's things as a production company we'd quite like you to stay out of. There's other things we'd quite like you to be involved in, but for me it's a collaborative process. It's about working together. We'd love to have you there on the shoot day. I love having clients there on the shoot day because we can work with you, you know the brand better, we can talk to you, we can show you shots, we can show you things. Also, it's quite a nice day out for you, being honest. Like, it's quite good. Just watch behind you, Steve. It's quite a nice day, and it's nice to do that sort of thing, right? But ultimately, if you turn around and you go, well, I can't make the shoot, as long as we know your brand well enough and we do many shoots for clients without the client there, that's okay as well. Some clients like to get involved with seeing, let's say we've got a stylist on a shoot. Some clients might want to look at different stylists and make a decision. Some clients might trust us to do it. So lots of it is very much dependent on how involved you want to be, and then we can get you involved in that way. So yeah, again, like most questions on this, be led by your production company. So this is a nice street in Wetherby that's got a few different independent shops on it and a restaurant that closed down and was meant to become Wetherspoons, and then Wetherspoons decided not to take it over, and it's now just an empty vacant building. And apparently, I don't know what it is, but the Wetherby, is it the Wetherby Gazette, the Wetherby News, the Wetherby, whatever the paper is in outrage. Don't really get involved. Right. Do you look after graphics and branding? Yes and no. We don't brand your company, we don't make your colours, but we do use them, utilise them. Let's cross the road because there's a lovely dog and I don't want to scare it. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, you can come on if you want. It's the Real Spiel podcast. It's world famous. Oh, you don't know what it is? Oh, that's embarrassing, isn't it? It's a good one. It's a good one. I promise you. Yeah, cool. Right, let's go down here. She didn't know what the Real Spiel podcast was. That's really that's really sad. Anyway, we'll walk down here and we'll forget that little bit of negativity that hit our lives. Sorry, what was the question I was asking again? That's throwing me. That branding, graphics and branding. So logos, we won't design the logos, we won't design your brand, we won't design your colours or your... We might in certain assets, if it's a project and it's a campaign, we can get involved with that, but ultimately your logo, your main colours, your brand, that should be a branding agency, it should be a design agency, someone like that who's doing that for you. We will utilize that stuff though to bring videos to life, and we may create new assets and new lower thirds and new icons and symbols and all sorts of stuff off the back of that are purpose built for the video. So we do use it, but we don't create the raw brand, if that makes sense. But we might make content for you. Sorry, I probably didn't answer that one very well. Should you add a voiceover and music? Depends. If it's been accessible, voiceover's good. Come to the next one, you should always subtitle it though. Music always gives something to life, but there's some creatives out there that pretty much don't use music and are fantastic for it. Red Bull is a great example. If you go on Red Bull's YouTube, a lot of their animations don't have any music and it is sound effects only, and they're absolutely fantastic. So it really depends on the creative whether you should have a voiceover and music, but that comes out in creative development. Should you add subtitles? Yes, subtitles. Should you add subtitles? Oh my God, yes. All the time. 85% of people now watch film on social media without sound, and subtitles are just accessible. They allow people to watch things on the go. Yeah, just subtitle it. Never don't subtitle it. We'll subtitle this, won't we, Steve?
We will.
There you go. And what kind of equipment do you use? It depends again. Right now on this shoot, we've got a handheld gimbal that we're going around Weatherby and showing you that, and it's one camera on a gimbal and we're going around with it. You've probably seen loads of that sort of stuff on TV. But then we also bring in big cameras, big tripods, lights, crews for some maybe more studio based or something like that. So really depends on what we're making for what equipment we bring. Just watch yourself. We might on some things have one camera, on other things we might have 4 cameras. Sometimes more. So it really depends what we're doing to what we're going to use. I feel like we should stop here because we're about to go to a main road and I'm done. And there's a building that people can see through the window and I can't see in, so it's a bit of an awkward end. But thank you for watching this episode of the Real Spiel podcast. I think people are looking at me. Anyway, thank you for watching the Real Spiel podcast. I hope you got loads of that. That was the top 8 questions on Google about video production. Hope I've answered them, given some value. And if there's any other questions, leave them in the comments. I might do another podcast on audience questions if anyone's heard of it, like that lady had not heard of it, but that's fine. And we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.